Who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Lepre, King Michael. This is Legit Fantasy Football, brought to you by LegitPodcast.com. It is October 8th, 2023. It's another football week of action and garbage. Week 5. Joining me as always, Brother Ray. What's up, Ray?
What's going on? Another day of football. Weather's starting to get a little bit colder. Beautiful day out there. I mean, it's got some good matchups this week.
Yeah. What an ugly shirt you got on.
That's a big one, maybe. That's going to be a big one. Do or die for the G-men.
I see. So I've thought this over, and I'm going to tell you really quick. The worst thing the Giants could do is beat the Dolphins. Like, listen to me. Like, they beat the Dolphins. They end up winning like 5 games of the year, and they get like the 10th pick or 11th pick. You feel me? If they lose today and they just lose, then they'll get somebody good. But we're the Giants, so we're not going to have a winning season, and we're not going to have a good draft pick. Just saying. This is one of those games. Joining us, M1 Mastradamus. What's up, Matt?
The Dolphins are swarming. When you got one Dolphin and you got another Dolphin, that's 2 Dolphins I can add. And you know what? Brother Ray, you just said, if the Giants beat, what are you talking about? They can't beat the Dolphins. They can't even score 3 points in a game. This is, don't say if the Giants win today. That is like a pipe dream, okay?
I didn't say if. I said it's a big game for them today.
No. King said if the Giants win today, that would be the biggest problem for them. There's no if.
Yeah, but
there's
2 things.
Get up.
One, more than one Dolphins call the pod. 2, the Giants have beaten the Dolphins in weird seasons. Like when the Dolphins were like really good, like 6-3. There's been like stupid games between the Giants and Dolphins. That's a fact. If you go back through and watch the history of Giants Dolphins games, they're always weird, stupid games. I'm just saying we should lose this game if we want a draft pick. Joining us is one of our favorite draft picks, the comedian, Captain Picard. What's up, Shawn?
Good morning. What football weather we're having today, everybody.
Right.
Time to throw some things on the grill, order some High Harbors, and let's chill.
Right? Like, I'm just going right, because I went outside today, and I was like, wow, it's fall. Like, it is cold fall here in New England. Let's jump into the games. Right now, we have the Jaguars at halftime. I think it's still 11-7. Trevor fumbled it on a drive. So let's see where we're at with that. Let's start off with Ray. Houston going to Hotlanta. Hotlanta is favored by 2.5. The over-under is 42. What do you like?
This, to me, is probably the easiest one of the day. How could you not like the Houston Texans getting 2.5 right now? That team has been crushing opponents the last 2 weeks. CJ Stroud, we talked about in the beginning of the year. It's too late to grab him now, guys. If you haven't grabbed him, he's gone. How can you not like Houston playing Atlanta? I don't care where they were playing. Getting 2.5 against such a bad football team right now. Love this. Love it. Houston, and I'll take the under.
So who's the quarterback for Atlanta?
Ritter.
Okay. I always have to ask that. They're one of those teams, right? Who is the quarterback? Matt?
Week 2, I said that the Packers were going to beat Atlanta because Atlanta was going to be exploited because they can't keep doing what they're doing with this running back system. And I don't see Ritter beating CJ Stroud. I'm with Brother Ray for all the reasons he said. CJ Stroud is a gamer. We don't know. I don't think we've seen a rookie quarterback come in and make the waves he's making. I'm talking with all of them, with all the names. He's up there with the elite, and what he's doing is incredible. I have Houston. If you can get points with Houston, I do it. I say I'm with Brother Ray too, right? How? I think it's before the curve. Go with Houston. Feel comfortable.
All right. So Shawn, they were -1 a couple days ago. The Texans. I'm sorry. They were plus. Atlanta was only favored by 1. it actually moved in their favor to 2.5. Why would they do that? Like
The fact they can run.
Why are they moving the point up? What do you think?
They think that they want more money in Vegas. They want people to think there's actual action there. Houston is going to win straight up. They don't need points. We talked about our affinity for Houston the last couple of weeks. Stroud is a boss. Atlanta is a joke now. They got their first couple wins out of the way. With Riddler, you're not winning anything. So, Houston all day.
The thing is, too, right? There's poise. The term poise, right? And Ritter doesn't have it, and Stroud does. They don't get caught up in the moment. They don't get too nervous. They just seem like we're going to play this. And you need to be that way.
If you look at Robinson for the Atlanta Falcons, he does have it. And he's only touched the ball a minimum amount, but when he does, he's averaging 7 yards a carry, I believe, on the air. The kid is deadly. He could keep the game close. In fact, Houston still has a very porous run defense is a big fact. I think what Vegas sees now, Atlanta's like the Patriots, right? Have to score first. If Houston gets out, it's a wrap.
So
that's the ball game.
I think here's the rub, right? I think what's his face is playing. And I don't mean to say what's his face, but Cordell Patterson. Cordell Patterson. He's playing the Joker role. I just think having him and Robinson in the same backfield could be a problem if you're back to run, right? If you got a healthy Patterson today and they play him, because last week they only played him on special teams. They're working their way to get him back.
But Tyler Algier is no joke either. He's been very formidable. He wasn't much last week, but it's when you, like I said, when you can implement your style of play. So if they get off and they start running that ball down Houston's throat, that's what it's going to be. They're going to say it's all about the trenches. And if Houston get muscled, but it looks like Houston knows how to get themselves out of that situation, and they can switch the game script. They don't have to do that. You can play against your weaknesses.
Too many what ifs with Atlanta. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I'm going to go.
I'm with Houston. But I can see a path home for Atlanta. It would be running against that porous run D.
Yeah, they'd have to pound it.
They'd have to pound it all day.
I was just going to say something else, but I'm not. Moving over to Detroit. Carolina's visiting Detroit. Detroit is favored by 9.5 over Carolina. The over-under is 44. Shawn, you want this first?
Sure. I'm taking Detroit, obviously. They get Williams back today. Let's see if he's going to be anything. Could be a nice day for Detroit at home. Get that speedy carpet going. Get the vacuum. Get the Dyson out. Because they're going to be running track all day. Detroit.
All right. Matt?
I don't like the 9.
9.5.
I think it. Yeah, I don't like the 9. I think it's bad that St. Brown is not there, and I think we've seen that Josh Reynolds before has been ghost when you think he would be there. So I love Laporta, and I love Mounty. I even love Gibbs. I don't love the 9 points, and I don't like the 9.5. Give me the points.
All right, you're going Carolina, right?
Yeah, I agree. No Gibbs today, by the way. He's not playing, so it's going to be all Monty.
Oh, no.
Monty's a great DFS play today. Look what Carolina did to Minnesota last week. Like, I think, you look at these games, like, Carolina, there's no way that they stay in this game, but they just do. And they're a strangely good road team for being not a good football team. So I love Carolina getting the points today. Again, no Gibbs. I think Detroit wins the game, but you're going to give me 9.5. I'm going to take Carolina in this, and I like the under.
So I don't usually go with heavy spreads because this is the NFL and ugly teams play ugly games and can keep things competitive. So I think Detroit wins by like 7. So with the spread the way it is, I'm going to go to Carolina. Let's start now, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Tennessee Titans go to Indianapolis. Tennessee's favored by 2.5. The over-under is 43. This is a boring-ass game to me. But, like, I wouldn't go to this game. You could not get me to go see this. I wouldn't watch it. But go ahead, Matt. What do you like?
This isn't one of the ones that I would back either with money. It's so tough to say because, like, I believe in this Colts team, and I think it's a better team collectively than the Titans, but I don't like what I'm seeing from Anthony Richardson. And as a fantasy spectator, you know you're not getting the most out of your best wideout with Michael Pittman Jr., unless you got Minshew in there. So I think you get more out of your team if you have Minshew in there, but you got to see what you got with Anthony Richardson first. So it's all about that. What kind of Anthony Richardson shows up? I guess I'll back the kid. Give me the Colts. I don't like it at all.
Ray?
Yeah, I think this is a tough game, but I think Richardson, I mean, he came back strong last week. I got to give him credit. He did get off the mat. They signed Taylor to a 3-year deal, so they're moving in the right direction. He's going to be on a limited snap count, but he is going to play. I love them at home getting points in this one because Tennessee, you don't know what team is going to show up. You really don't know who's going to be King had a great game last week. Is that going to continue? The Colts defense has actually been pretty good this year. I'm going to take the points at home with the Colts, and I'm going to go over in this. I think it's going to be a shootout.
Colts, all right. 2 for the Colts. Shawn?
I'm agreeing with Ray about this shootout. I also like the Colts, but I think this actually, believe it or not, is going to be an early way to see who's going to be in it for that 7th seed for the playoffs. I know people at home are going, playoffs! But trust me, playoffs! This game could actually determine that team that's right there, 7, 8, 9. So, yeah, taking Indy, getting some points.
Oh, all right. By the way, in the legit fantasy football league, now with Jonathan Taylor back, I actually have Hurts, Hill, Pittman Jr., Judy, Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, Devin Akin, or however Ray pronounces it, and Jonathan Taylor. A-Chain, Taylor, Henry, Najee Harris, Jerry Judy, Tyreek Hill, Pittman, and Jalen Hurts. Gonna win that league. I'm telling you that right now. Can't wait to get the belt back and show it off. I'm gonna go with
I love my team.
Tennessee. Why? I have no real good reason. I just think this is an ugly, stupid game, and it's gonna flip-flop. Tennessee wins by 3.
That could happen, yeah.
Absolutely. If it was more than 3, I would definitely go with Indy. All right, Ray. Before we do this game, I gotta do this. We've been having a thing now where we have people they've been writing in and they want to explain their passion for whatever it is. So let me bring this guy in really quick, Ray, before we get onto this. It's me, Vinny the Cop. Roommates with little Tommy Tools. Vinny the Cop. Anyways, it's Sunday morning. It's football time. And I wanted to answer a question that I've heard you guys ask, and that's what's wrong with the New York Football Giants. Well, here's what's wrong with the Giants. All right? Here's their offensive line. Left tackle, Andrew Thomas. What happened to Vinny? He's been out with a hamstring now for weeks. So who do they start in his place? They start Josh Ozudu. Yeah, he was a left guard drafted out of North Carolina. Why don't they put Evan Neal there, you ask? I asked that too. Wasn't he a left tackle in college? Yes, he was. But he's playing so bad at right tackle, they're scared to put him there. So starting for Andrew Thomas is Josh Ozudu. Left guards, Bredesen and Lemieux. They both stink. Off center, Schmitz. That kid hurt his shoulder last week. Who backs up Schmitz? Lemieux. Pew. Right guard, Marcus McKeithen. 2nd-year guy, didn't play last year because of injury, so he gets injured. And he's not that good. Behind him is Mark Lewinsky. Right tackle, Evan Neal. Evan Neal said things he shouldn't say about us Giants fans. I'll just say that. Evan Neal. But behind him is Matt Pert. Oh, my God. Someone must have asked. Thibodeau. Have you ever seen a guy play like he doesn't want to play like that before ever in your life? And then how about Aziz Ojolari? Oh, my God, he's so good when he's on the field. But he's like Haley's Comet. Bobby Okereke. You came here because you were supposed to tackle. You can't tackle. You look like you didn't know what to do with that guy. You grabbed him around the shoulders, hugged him. This is football, not Lifetime Channel. We're a shit show. Back to you, Brother Ray. Thank you, Vinny. That was awfully nice of Vinny. Ray, he explained a lot of my sentiments with the Giants. So the Giants go to Miami, and Miami's favored by 12.5. Over-under is 47.5. Now, I guess the question is, there's two ways this game's going to go. And I don't understand 12.5. I could see 15. Like, what I'm trying to say is, Miami's either going to score 50 points and the Giants get like 12, or it's going to end up being like a 28-24 game that's kind of ugly. For some reason, they give Daniel Jones just enough time to get the ball to Wandale. But Ray, what do you honestly think about this game?
First of all, it's good to see that North Providence is paying overtime to be in the Cup on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's nice that he got that detail in. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I look at this game and I think the Dolphins win this game. I don't think they cover the spread though. So I'm going to go with the Giants with the spread, and I'm going to go with the over in this. I think today would be a really good stack, and I know I'm crazy. And probably everyone's going to think I'm crazy, but Danny Dimes, Darren Waller stack today, I think are going to be pretty good because I think Diggs last week showed the weakness on the outside that the Dolphins have. Kohu was not able to stay with Diggs, and I'm afraid they're going to that Fangio is going to try the same thing with Waller. And if Waller's healthy, he should have his way. Now, I'm not saying that's a definite, but I think it's enough for me to take the points if I'm betting the spread today. But I think the Dolphins win the game, and I'm going to go with the over.
So I'm going to go next because I'm a Giants fan. The Giants' offensive line is so horrendous. It is absolutely so bad. I mean, Vinny brings up a good point, one that I've been trying to make. Why move Azudu to left tackle, Ray? He's a left guard. Just because he knows the left side of the field doesn't mean he should be left tackle. Shouldn't it be the best tackle on the team goes to left tackle?
Not all the time. It's a big deal as far as what hand you're putting down. Like, seriously, that's a big deal. Like, left side, right side is actually bigger than the actual tackle or guard position. So
he's a first-round pick, though. Neal's a first-round pick who played left tackle. He should be able to just go there, plug in, and play.
That's not that's not always the way it is. Seriously, putting that hand down is a big deal.
So ridiculous. I'm going to go with the Dolphins minus 12.5. If as a betting person, right? As a betting person, I can't see how we're going to block. I've been saying that for 5 years. I'm at a point where I'm going to go to Giant Stadium and do that thing like they did in Vietnam where I set myself on fire and I just sit there in like the yoga pose as a protest to the offensive line because someone needs to do something, right? And I got a weird feeling they might tank this year. I got a weird feeling that the upper management is thinking, well, we'll lose these games. We'll get what's his face, one of those the Drake or whatever his name is, one of those quarterbacks. We'll be all right. We'll move on from Daniel. I don't know how you're going to do that. You're already paying him next year $24 million. Anyways, I hate the Giants, but I love them, right? I hate them right now, though, but I love them. And I want to see them win today. And, again, I'll bring this up. The Giants always screw themselves, period. So right now, they're like the worst team in the league. They're looking at a top 3 pick. They'll screw that up. They're not going to win more than like 5-6 games, but they're not going to get the top pick. So this is the type of game that I worry about. What if the Giants beat the Dolphins? Then next week we're talking about, oh, they beat the Dolphins, and the Bills just go, wow. Or we could get just slapped 2 weeks in a row right now by the AFC East. That's if that happens, you're gonna have Giants players trying to kill each other. Shawn.
Yeah, I just checked the weather. It's going to be in the 90s with the heat index and all the rest. It's supposed to be 87 at game time, but yeah, it feels like 92. So with that, Miami does get a huge advantage. And when they get that huge advantage, they usually use it. New York going through hamstring gate still. I know it's a lot of points, but I'm going to take Miami.
I just can't believe his hamstring is keeping. Shawn, who you got? I mean, Matt, who you got?
I don't think it's a lot of points, Shawn. And the only trouble I have with this game is like what King said is the Giants going to cooperate, and are they going to participate in scoring some points? Because I feel like organizations should be held accountable for the deaths of these young careers. Like what we've seen with Saquon Barkley, he was injured immediately. That's because he was getting hit in the backfield. Like he couldn't even have the year. Like Daniel Jones had a decent year last year. And now we're like, what's going on with him? He's horrible. He's horrible. No, he doesn't have a chance. Doesn't have a chance.
Doesn't.
So I don't know how they operate and how they score points when they've been operating their backfield as the ball gets snapped. So yeah, I think that the Dolphins cover that spread, like I said. But what's the question is, are they going to cover the 47 by themselves? Give me the Dolphins. And I would go with the over because I do think the Giants stumble onto 10, 13 points. And then you got the Dolphins getting 41, 47
Listen,
by themselves.
The Dolphins have a good defense, right?
Great. I think not great, but I think it's good enough.
All right. Jones.
Yes, excuse me for saying great.
Jones' last game, right? Last game, he had an average of 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds to throw the ball before he get hit. He was sacked 11 times. On that last throw into the end zone, he threw it at 2 seconds. He had more time. He could have waited, but it's like his mental clock was going off because he's getting hit so much that he went 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and he flung it. They didn't even cross yet.
Right.
Like you had to wait for them to do their patterns, and you would have had Waller. He's seeing ghosts. I mean, but if you get sacked 11 times, I said this last week, him and what's his name from the Commanders are on pace to break Derek Carr's record.
Yeah.
For being sacked the most. Sam Howell. It goes Sam Howell, Daniel Jones, and even I don't know if he gets sacked the other night, the Bears quarterback, but he's up there too. He's got a chance to break it. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that you're projected to be 10 sacks above what Derek Carr got for Daniel Jones. Right?
Before we leave, let me just mention that Fangio does not blitz. I don't know why, but he hasn't been blitzing all year, and it has really hurt the Dolphins. When he has blitzed, that defense has played better. Now, is he going to blitz in this game? I would think he would, but there's no guarantee. I think Danny Dimes was challenged last week publicly and on national TV. Yep. I think he's going to come back and play a good game. I think a rushing prop for Daniel Jones today is easy money. He is going to have over 50 yards rushing. I don't think that there's a doubt. And that's how you beat this Dolphins defense. So I think you're going to see that. I think you're going to see a different Daniel Jones today. This coach knows how to beat the Dolphins.
Yeah, but Brother Ray, I just want to say, you said something about a good stack with Darren Waller, and I'll shut my mouth like a little bit less if you're right. But Darren Waller hasn't been around in 2 years. Who is Darren Waller? Will the real Darren Waller please stand up?
This is what he does. This is what he does. He appears when you think he's done. He's not consistent. He's the worst fantasy player you could ever have.
The stack that I did for $5 was Daniel Jones, at least 2 touchdowns, and Wan'Dale Robinson 1. It was $5 wins 700. I'm like, there's a chance that could happen because I have been saying for 2 years now that the best wide receiver on the Giants is by far Wan'Dale Robinson. I mean, again,
that's proven
hurt. He gets hurt, but the kid was what, Mr. Kentucky? Didn't they call him that? He's a freak, but everyone's just talking over him. And let me ask you this: don't you sit Paris Campbell down and put Jalen Hyatt in? You don't want to go with Hyatt out there, really? You don't want someone who's so fast that no one can catch him?
Nothing to lose right now. They have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
That's why I like them today getting the points to cover, at least cover the spread, because they have nothing to lose. This is do or die for them. This is like their season.
You think he's going to go up to Tyreek Hill and challenge him to a race? Because those two are the fastest in the NFL. Those two are the fastest guys in the NFL, right?
Well, I think Mostert's actually
A-chain.
faster than all of them.
No, I'm talking
A-chain.
about like miles per hour clocked. The highest speed clocked in a game was Tyreek Hill.
I think A-Chain eclipsed him this year.
Miles per hour? No, I don't think so.
Yes, he did.
I'll check it. I'll look at it. But second to him, right? The saying was it wasn't in a game, but in practice.
The game that A-Chain did the 200 yards there against Denver, he beat that.
We had 2 plays. Yeah, I had 2 plays that were top, like over 20 miles an hour.
21. Yep.
All right. So he beat Tyreek Hill?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Mostert's been faster than Hill, too. Mostert's been clocked faster than Hill.
Because Tyreek Hill, to me, is speed. Like you say that name, that's all I think is, oh, my God, can he run? Is he that kid fast?
But you see him, he is solid. Like, he's a brick. He's a pretty stocky dude. He's pretty solid.
All right. Moving on. Shawn, this is going to hit home right here. New Orleans travels to New England to play the Patriots. The Patriots I have favored by 1. The over-under is 39. First off, how do you feel about your Patriots? And then second off, what do you think about this game?
Patriots, I'm the Patriots fan. We don't exist much in the wild. So
what fan? You broke up like
realistic, believe it or not.
All right.
Yeah. So the Patriots are going to get beat today. That under, I mean, everyone, easy money, take the over in this game. Patriots will not have Judon. They're not going to have Gonzalez. They brought in J.C. Jackson, which couldn't play for San Diego. I mean, the Chargers. So you're talking about a team that's going to kill me right now. And we're going to watch them get beat by a touchdown. And, that's good times, great oldies for everybody else. But Patriots fans, like I said, beginning of the year, 6-7 wins is all we're getting. And today isn't going to be one of them.
Boy, do I miss depressed Patriot fans. Like back in the days where they had that coach that just hugged everybody. Ray, remember the old guy just hugged everybody?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was McPherson.
McPherson, yes.
Tickets at the door, go sit on the bleachers. You know what I mean? It was a good time. But Ray, who do you like in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I usually, if the Pats given less than 3 at home, I mean, usually historically, like that's like a no-brainer. But they showed nothing against Dallas last week. They pretty much gave up, and losing Gonzalez and Judon, probably the 2 best defensive players right now. I know they're getting Trey Flowers back, and that's nice, but their defense got rolled over last week. I love Alvin Kamara as a start this week in DFS. I think he's going to have a huge day catching the ball. I have to go with New Orleans here, even though I don't completely trust Derek Carr. But right now, the Patriots just are not functioning. Ramondre does not look like a back right now. They're confused. They have nothing on the outside. I mean, you got to go with New Orleans here, especially getting points against this Patriots team.
Matt, your old team, the Patriots. What do you think of this?
I've got the Saints in a parlay. Now it's a crazy 10-team parlay for $5 to win 5,000. But I did it because I believe they're going to win. But if I liked one bet in this game, it would probably be that under. I think you got to keep swinging at the under in every single Patriots game. Like I said weeks ago, I think that Carr is banged up. That's why you've seen 13 grabs by Kamara. I don't think you want to see the Saints live by that, especially not against this Patriots team. I'm going to go against what Shawn said, though, with J.C. Jackson. I could see San Diego, LA not knowing how to utilize Jackson, and Bill goes, just do this, shut down this area of the field. I know you can do that. That's it. And if the Saints think that they're going to live by dumping the ball off, that's right in the warehouse of the Patriots. They got a good front seven without the injuries to Judon and Gonzalez. Gonzalez is a nice piece, but I think replacing Jackson is a nice move, especially for depth. But they've got plenty of DNs. I could see the Patriots winning, but I got the Saints. Give me the Saints. I'm a realist when it comes to the Patriots. They've not been good. That's why I don't want to sit there and look at roadkill and keep watching it. That's why I'm a big fan of the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? So give me the Saints here. Under.
That was one of the shortest explanations you've ever given.
And you know, Ray, Mike, the king, if I could, I miss the days of the one-legged cheerleader that we used to have for Patriots. You know what I mean? Like those days when they'd come off to cheer and they'd be smoking cigarettes. Hey, man, give me an
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's bring those back. Let's hope for those days so we get a top 5.
Back when you would know a Patriots cheerleader. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I met 2 people on occasions. They were like, "Yeah, I'm a Patriots cheerleader." This is way back. And it's like, "Oh yeah." They're like, "Yeah." It wasn't a big deal. It's not the Cowboys. You know, they're not signing stuff. They're just in regular clothes, hanging out. Anyways, I'm gonna go with New Orleans as well. I just think it's dark days for teams that are around here. It just is.
That's the second one we went all 4 on.
Yep. So let's go the last 1 o'clock game. Ray, to you again. Baltimore -5 at Pittsburgh. Actually, Ray, let me take this one first. I love Baltimore in this game.
Huge.
I think they're a better team than Pittsburgh, right? And now I got to be fed the whole, but it's in Pittsburgh. They're not going to let the Ravens come in here and beat them by 5. Like, that's what everyone wants to tell me. And like I said in like week 1 when this was said, no, this is in the same Steelers. I like Baltimore -5 against the Steelers. Right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think the Ravens get Humphrey back, if I'm not mistaken, this week, which is big. You got Pickett, who's basically playing on a bad knee right now. They're saying he's not going to be able to run and scramble. You got to like Baltimore here. I think, I like what their defense has been doing. I think, they're a team that just responds to adversity. And this matchup, Pittsburgh has done well in this matchup, and I think a lot of people are jumping and taking the 4.5 at home. But I think it's that same mentality with the Patriots. This isn't the old Pittsburgh Steelers team. This isn't the team that just would come in this game and win by 20. So this is not a mirage. I like Baltimore in this. I think the better team right now. I don't care where they're playing this game, and I'm going to go with the under on this. So I'm taking Baltimore, given the 4.5. I have 4.5.
Yep, I had it at 5. Ray, Matt.
Ray basically said everything I needed to say. I wanted to say the same thing he said, that, when you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, they just always have, and I thought that they were. I thought there was a time this year that we were going to see the same organization. This is not the same Steelers team. And it's funny because they always stick with the coaches. They stick with the the players for a long period of time. Even Kenny Pickett's probably not really a starter, but now you got Najee Harris, who's being outplayed by Warren, and they're sticking with him. So you got the Ravens, who got 1 million running backs. I'll take all their 1 million running backs over the Steelers running backs. And I would love Lamar Jackson. I'm not a big fan of him, over Kenny Pickett all day of the week. It makes sense. Let's go with the Ravens.
So, Shawn, did you notice that Ray basically said what I said, and then Matt said, I'm going to agree with Brother Ray?
I have.
Did you notice that, Shawn? Did you notice it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
King, listen. All right, I agree with the king. Okay, I said it.
That's what it is. Shawn, who do you like in this game?
If Kenny Pickett would have done the right thing and stayed on the bench and pretended like he was getting healthy, I would have took the Steelers. But Pickett is going to be playing in this game, and even worse, he's going to be a pocket quarterback today. Absolutely not. I'm taking the Ravens.
So we're all in agreement on that. The only Joker card I'll throw in that right there is that how Shawn just ended what he said. What if Kenny Pickett does better in the pocket? What if that's where he's supposed to be? And by confining the kid, maybe you'll get better performance out of him. I'm just saying that. That's the Joker card. Like, that's the what if he settles into the pocket.
Look at Chase Claypool being traded from that organization. Does that tell us there was more turmoil inside than there was? Like, he's a good asset. We've seen him be a good part of the offense. What happened? I know that Pickens is in his role, but you can have another one on the other side. Deontay Johnson's not there. There's targets to go around. You're going to tell me Chase Claypool wasn't an effective piece for that organization? What happened there?
So
something's up.
Let me tell you this. On the 1 o'clocks, we have 3 locks, which rhymes. Houston, New Orleans, and Baltimore. That's what we came with, right? Houston, New Orleans, Baltimore are locks at 1 o'clock. Ray, he was just talking about Claypool being traded. We go to the 4 o'clock games, but there's a star wide receiver asking to be traded from the Cincinnati Bengals. It's Cincinnati at Arizona. It's -3. It's the weirdest spread game for me on the entire docket. Like, they've only favored by 3, and then Jamar Chase wants to be traded now. What's going on in Cincinnati? What is the deal? Why are they only favored by 3? Why does Jamar Chase want out? Right?
Yeah, he's not getting the ball. Let's be honest. He's not getting the ball. They haven't been effective. I think their coaching has really dropped this year. I know their defense played well last game. I think their defense really saved them. Joe Burrow has looked like a bum. I mean, let's be honest. He hasn't done anything this year. He's been a detriment, if anything. They just don't look like the same team. And Chase, there were issues with him coming out. We knew about the head issues and not exactly being the most focused and most disciplined. And now he's facing adversity, and this is the way he's reacting to it. And by the way, T. Higgins, he's not playing this week. So Boyd is going to have to step up and be the number 2. If I'm looking at this game, I would stay away. And I've been about going after Arizona all year, but you know what? Arizona has sneakily been good. Their defense has played well. We talked about Michael Wilson beginning of the year. Too late to get him now, guys. He's a stud. He's turned into a fantasy stud, the rookie from Stanford. I'm going to take Cincy here -3, but Arizona could very well win this game by 20, and I would not be surprised.
So Matt, to you,
yes, sir.
You got T. Higgins who wants out at the end of the season, free agency, and then you get Jamar Chase requesting a trade. That's not good.
It starts from the top. It starts from the top. It's all about your swag and how you carry yourself. There must be, real leaders see real leaders, and they see how they carry themselves. And if they don't carry themselves in a way that they see as presentable, they're going to go, this dude's a clown. And that's probably what's going on there. Taylor's probably not really a man amongst men. And there's other men that are probably towel that dude. But we're seeing a franchise that we know can run like horses, and they're running like snails. There's something up there. I love Arizona today. There's a reason that spread's where it's at. And I still think there's going to be fish that take the hook and go with Cincinnati. And they go, there's no way. Yeah, there is a way. Right now, Arizona and what they're getting from Dobbs. Somebody told that kid Dobbs, they said, you play good, you win some games, you're the starter. They don't want a relationship with Kyle Murray. They want Murray gone. Look for him to be a Patriot next year. I wouldn't doubt that. Or maybe this year. Murray might never play again, but Dobbs is playing out of his mind. That offense is playing effective and more effective than Cincinnati is. So give me Arizona in the under.
Shawn.
All right. So I'm hoping Cincinnati wipes the slate clean like Dobbs' head and can go back to what they were doing. Well, his whole face, should I say. But I like I can't tell you why I like Cincinnati. Everything in my brain tells me no. In Arizona, every time there's a spread, they're playing it close this year. But damn it, I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I don't know why.
That's exactly sums up where I'm at with this. I stare at this. I've been staring at this spread, and I keep going. I would take Cincinnati, but I don't like it. Like, I don't like this game. I would not bet this game. However, I'm taking Cincinnati just because Arizona's really bad in my book. Like they've been playing over their heads because they don't want Murray back. That's true. They're playing as hard as they can for this kid because they don't want to prove they don't want him back. I mean,
Yeah,
I
they
just
don't like
watched
him.
I watched the Marshawn Lynch sit down with Shannon Sharp. Man, Russell Wilson is just not somebody that's like no one likes him.
Liked.
Yeah, no one likes the guy. He makes you talk to his like company before you can get in touch with him. And by the way, Marshawn Lynch is fantastic.
He's a strange dude.
I'm gonna go with Cincy, but I don't like it. All right, moving over to the Rams. Shawn, Philly, the worst organization in the history of all football, is favored by 4 against the Rams. I would think that Philly bounces back on this one and drops a lot on the Rams, but maybe not. What do you think?
I think this is going to be the surprise game of the day. I think LA is going to upset them. Reason being, you got Cup back this week. You got a lot of offense. I think it's going to be death by 1,000 cuts when you're talking about Philadelphia. Philadelphia's defense isn't as good as people think it is this year. Their front four is tremendous, don't get me wrong. But when you have all those people that can run the slot, that can run the mid-15s, all of a sudden you got a way to control the clock. And on top of that, you have a way to spread the ball around. So, therefore, I'm taking the Rams.
All right, then. Ray?
Yeah, I don't like the matchup here for the Rams. I think this is kind of like the Tampa Bay game where they, with Philly's front four, I think is going to completely take away what the Rams try and do with their play action and their running game. And I just like Philly. I like the way they responded last week. That would usually be a game where they got overwhelmed and they would lose that game and choke it out. But they came back strong. And if you look at that team on both sides of the ball, there's not much not to dislike. So it's only 4 right now. I know Cooper Kupp is back. And again, that's going to be a plus. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Puka. How, does he slot in as the number 2? Because really he played Cooper's position. So they're going to put him on the other side. We'll see how that shakes out. But I have to like Philly here. I think if it was 7, I'd be a little scary. But if it's 4, I'm going to take Philly. I'm going to take the under.
Matt?
I love the Rams here, and I'm with Shawn. I think that there's an upset. I think it's a straight up money line. I think that, and I don't agree with them that the defense is not as good as I think they are. I just think this is the NFL. I think that what's going on is there's a lot of pressure from the offense on the defense. I don't think Jalen Hurts is really playing as good as he was last year. I think he's going through some growing pains. Maybe there's some tape on there. They're taking away things. But I think that the Rams can keep pace with them because they're not as effective as they were last year. So give me the Rams.
As the NFC East whisperer myself, the spread is 4 because Philly's going to beat the shiznit out of the Rams today. They came back really strong in the second half, right? And they were trying to put things together. They're going to roll over the Rams. Philly, a team like Dallas, Detroit, the Chiefs, maybe the Dolphins, they're just so much better than other teams. They're just better than other teams. Philly's much, much, much better than the Rams. So Philly has a problem of playing to the level of talent they're playing. You know what I mean? They'll play sloppy. Although they're gonna kick the snot out of the Rams today. I like Philly. I mean, I can't say that. I don't like them, but I think they're gonna win by 4. Jets go to Denver. Shawn, Jets travel into Denver. Denver favored by 2.5. The over-under is 43.5. Now, the questions I would ask beforehand are, do we think Zach Wilson can actually be molded into a quarterback? And then secondly, does Russell Wilson even, Would you block for him? Like, I'm worried that people don't even want to block for him anymore. You know, after the last couple of weeks, it's like, ole. You know what I mean? But who do you like in this game?
I think they did definitely you see the guards doing the ole every so often to like get him to get in line. You know what I mean? But he's having a decent year this year. The Jets, though, the one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen. No, he doesn't have a redemption in him. I think he's going to go to mile high, and he's going to start losing oxygen to his brain. He's going to play even worse. And I like Denver in this one. I like Judy finally having a breakout game.
All right,
that's me.
That is you, Ray. Who do you like?
I love the Jets in this game, and I really think Wilson last week. There were a couple series in that game that he looked like a right-handed Steve Young. And I know you're going to think I'm crazy. I have not been. There's not anything in this cup of coffee. I promise you. Okay. The way he made a couple of scrambles last week and was able to find open receivers where he should have, any other quarterback probably would have been sacked. You know, he has the physical ability. He's got the arm. He can run. And I think starting to see, he's starting to process more. He's starting to go to second, third receivers. He played a really good game against a good Kansas City Chiefs defense. The Broncos defense, not even close. The Broncos defense should be in the XFL right now.
Brother Ray, they weren't just playing against the Chiefs either.
They're playing against the refs. Yeah, exactly.
I know. That game was going to overtime.
He should have won that game. As a stat today for DFS, I love Wilson. I love both of them, both Wilsons. Take both Wilsons, and it's money in the bank today. I love
Take Wade Wilson.
I love the Jets getting the points today. I'm going to go with the under. Jets.
Jets, Jets. Matt, who do you like?
You know, I really try to not be emotional with picks. And sometimes when a team does me dirty, I can't deal with them. A few weeks ago, I took the Jets against the Patriots because I was just like, Jets are going to score more than the Patriots will. And if the Jets beat the Chiefs, which they probably should have done, this is a different line. And a lot of people are looking at this game completely different. The Jets are good. They're actually a very good team. They beat the Bills. Can you believe that, right? Seems so forever ago. Zach Wilson did play out of his mind, but really what we've seen on him is he's always had pretty damn good footwork, and he's got a great cast around him. Give me the Jets. I just don't want to put any stock in them because I'm emotionally invested, and I know that right now, and it sucks.
I don't want to feel like we're teaming up on Shawn, but in this game, I would go with Flip Wilson and the Jets.
Flip
Wilson.
Oh no, wait, Zach Wilson. You guys are talking too many Wilsons. Yeah. The Jets defense alone will probably score about 7 points, 6 points. They don't get to kick the extra. And then Denver's. Yeah, I just see this being a really ugly game where I would actually take the Jets outright to win the game because that's how I just see it going down. All right. Moving on to the last 4 o'clock game. Matt, KC's favored by 3.5 going into Minnesota. Over under is 52.5. Who do you like?
This is another spread, right? What's up with it? It's the Taylor Swift effect, okay? This is what it is. It's the Taylor Swift effect. And I guarantee you, they knew the Chiefs weren't really that good, and they're in for a bad season, so they paired them. If you believe Taylor Swift is really with Travis Kelce, you might be a little retarded. This is a complete merge of empires, and they're asking Taylor Swift to get the Swiftie fans and acting. Oh my God, look at what she's wearing. Who's she talking to? Oh, look at that photo. So stupid. I think the Chiefs lose this game outright, and I think many wins. Weird, right?
Not weird, just too much Taylor Swift. Like, I can't
hate it.
When they show her, I just don't even wanna, and I don't think she deserves that suite. Like, I don't think she deserves to be there in the middle where she's getting served, whatever, and she's wearing her Chiefs jersey. Just like when Jessica Simpson showed up with the Cowboys jersey for Romo. Oh, it bothers me.
I
It
think
bothers
that
me
you
so
can
much.
see it with Travis's mother. She doesn't like to be around Taylor. You can see it in her body, in her energy. She doesn't even really make look at her and stuff like that. Conversation. I think it's not even viable. I see through bullshit, and I don't believe there's a relationship there even a little bit. And if you looked at Travis Kelsey's exes, they were such meaty women. I don't think he would like no little stick figure.
So, Ray, Matt seems to know really a lot about Kelsey, his mom, and Taylor Swift, which you might find weird because I do. But all that aside, what do you think of the actual game, Ray? Kansas City minus 3.5 against Minnesota.
First of all, Taylor Swift is a genius. Say whatever you want. She's a genius. His jersey sales went up 300% as soon as
Did they really?
300%. Yeah.
See?
So I'm jealous. That's all I'm going to say. As far as this game, I really like Minnesota in this because I think they're not as bad as they've been playing. Their defense stepped up last week. They had a big game, made a couple of big plays. I like Minnesota in this. I like them at home. That's the only reason probably I would go with them. And they're getting 3.5. That half point to me is a big deal. And Kansas City should have lost that game last week. They really should have lost that game. I think the Taylor Swift distraction is going to be more than Andy Reid bargained for. And there's really nothing he can do right now. So I'm going to go Minnesota getting the 3.5 at home. I'm going to go on.
Shawn.
In full agreement with both of these gentlemen. Kansas City, I was going to make mention, but Brother Ray just did. Kelsey jerseys through the roof. The ticket prices at Arrowhead Stadium have gone up, I believe, 20%. The betting lines are heavily on, and you wouldn't think women would bet that much, but heavily going towards Kansas City. So Minnesota, I think, shoots down this Mylar balloon and it floats slowly to the ground as the Chiefs lose.
So I hate to keep this from being a lock, but if you just look at the actual game and the teams, Kansas City's a better team. Should be. I think they go into Minnesota, who's not very good, in my opinion, and they win by at least 4. I mean, that half is a big deal. The 3.5 is a huge deal. If there's 2.5, it's Kansas City all day long in my book. 3.5, it's weird. I get the the what ifs, but I got to stay with Kansas City. I got to go where my brain says, not my heart. So at 4:00, there's no locks, guys. We've got Houston, New Orleans, and Baltimore. That's what we've got for you for the day as far as locks. Now let's go to tonight and then Monday night. Ray, Dallas goes to San Fran. San Fran's favored by 3.5 against Dallas. Is the over under 45.5. Now, really quick, I don't like Dak. It's not that I don't like him. I don't know. He's not that special to me. I don't know. What do you think, Ray?
I'm not going to think too much about this. I'm going to just go with San Francisco. I think they're the much better team. They're at home. It's under 7. I just like the way they've been playing. And their defense, I don't think we've seen the full potential of that San Francisco defense yet, especially fantasy-wise. We haven't seen it. I think we could see it tonight. I love San Francisco in a primetime game. I think, and I'm a Shanahan critic, but I think he's a much better coach than McCarthy. And I think this is the spot where you're going to see it. They want to show out that they're the best in the league, and I think they're going to do it tonight. I'll give the 3.5, but I'm going to go with the under in this.
Shawn?
I like 49ers too, but I see I don't know if you guys have the same. I see the over under at 45. I think it's going to go well under. I think it's going to be like a 2017 game. Well, I'm sorry, 21-17 game. And yeah, I take 49ers.
All right.
The Niners.
Matt?
I love it because you guys know how much I've been beating the 49ers drums for years. There's been so much hate for Shanahan. And I've been saying, no, Linda, listen, Linda. And the funny thing is they're gonna get a lot of flack for that one trade to Miami where they gave up 3 first-round picks, and people are gonna go, "Why'd they do that?" Because when you know that you are an orchestrator and you can get something, and the madness, you're like, "I want it now." They've got it now. They've got everything that they want at the quarterback position, running back. Ayuk is taking over, right? He is the wide receiver one there. Debo is, you don't even know where he is anymore. Kittle's kind of secondary too. You got Danny Gray. You got so many outlets. They are so good. They have a chip on their shoulder the size of a mountain, and they're beating the shit out of everybody. I'm going with the 49ers. I don't know really about the over-under, but I'll tell you right now, I would be jumping on this. I think this is a lock, and I don't like really what I've seen from Dallas and what you've seen last week from beating up the Patriots, whatever. It's a smokescreen.
I'm gonna go with San Fran as well. Like Ray, it almost doesn't even need explanation.
Nope.
I think they're much better than Dallas. So that's our fourth lock of the day. Houston, New Orleans, Baltimore tonight. You play the 49ers with confidence. Now going to Monday night, Matt, we'll let you go first on this. Green Bay goes to the Raiders. Raiders are favored by 2. It's 44.5. Who do you like on Monday night?
I just don't even understand this spread. It's just crazy to me. I'm already on the Packers for more reasons than one. I just don't see how the Raiders can move the ball effectively as much as the Packers can. I think Jordan Love, when I look at him, he had 2 bad balls when they played Detroit, and I mean he is zinging that ball, but there was 2. And it really is like the timing of an interception really matters. And the 2 interceptions he had in that game really flipped that game in a bad manner. But all the other balls that he did, he's looking good. I'm a big fan of Jordan Love. I'm a big fan of what the Packers are doing. Give me the Packers in that one.
Right.
The one thing I think we're missing out of this is the revenge factor in this game. You know, Devontae playing his former team for the first time. We know what Adams does in prime time. He is probably one of the most elite fantasy wide receivers in prime time. You got Jimmy G, all out of concussion protocol. I normally would look at this and say Green Bay all day. Vegas does not have a chance. But I think a primetime game in Vegas, Jimmy G back, Adams ready to go. I think I have to go with Vegas here, given the 2. Although my mind tells me the Packers are better in every other aspect. I think Adams takes over this game. I'm going to take the Raiders minus the 2 and go with the over.
Shawn.
I kept going back and forth this week with this one. I like what Brother Ray's saying, especially when it comes to Adams, but I think Green Bay just has that firepower. Like I said at the first show, Oakland's defense, the Oakland Raiders, you're going to see just get worse and worse and worse because there's not as much talent there as people think. So Green Bay wins it. Green Bay wins it straight up.
Ray, I don't mean to team up on you, but I also like Green Bay, and I'll just tell you why really quick. They're just a better team. The Raiders are a really bad organization. If they could get the ball to Devontae, that'd be great. But they can't. They haven't been able to, and the team is not good. He's not good. And Jordan Love looks like the kind of kid who'll hang in there. He'll hang in on most games. He's got that poise too, where he's a gamer. He reminds me of the other kid. So I'm gonna go Green Bay on that. Last words are on the clock. Matt?
Josh Allen just threw an interception, turnover again. He's the turnover king. Sometimes he looks so good. Sometimes he looks so bad. Huge loss today for the Miami Dolphins. If that does take place, if they follow suit, it'll be 2 conference losses. The Bills are who we thought they are, I believe. They're going to keep doing what they do, turn the ball over, lose games.
Ray, wrap it up.
Yeah, I mean, fantasy-wise today, just some players I think you should pay attention to. I like Breece Hall today, full complement of snaps. There's going to be no handcuffs on him. We talked about Wilson. I think he's a great play today. I think Stroud's a great play today. And again, you can still get him at pretty good at DFS. I love Monty. I think Jones or Dillon against the Raiders. Their run defense is absolutely abysmal. So look at that and see if Jones is active. If he's not, I think Dillon makes a good start. You can get him cheap. He hasn't done anything yet, but I think that might change against the Raiders. I also like Ramondre tonight. I think he's going to have a little bit of a bounce back. He's going to get the majority of snaps. Tank Dell, that you can get very cheap. He ran like 90% of the routes last week. So I know Collins, went off, but I think it's going to be Tank Dell this week. A-Chain. I don't know why he's still cheap. I think he should be more expensive than he is. And my defense for the week, the Houston Texans. If you look at what they've done the last 2 weeks, they've only had 1 week where they've been really bad, but they completely shut down Pittsburgh. They completely shut down Jacksonville. D'Amico Ryans, a bunch of high picks. They are playing lights out. You can get them for practically nothing.
One last word about A-Chain. If you can get a prop bet every single week, do A-Chain 2 touchdowns or more. He's doing that. He's matching 2 touchdowns a game. I think they're trying to stress the underneath, and they're really trying to get this kid underneath to make it powerful over the top. They're going to keep giving you taking what the defense does. A-Chain is a special player. Go with that 2 touchdown prop.
Marshall Faulk 2.0. I'm saying
he's unbelievable.
Marshall Faulk 2.0.
He really is. I said that the other day, Brother Ray. He is. He's Marshall Faulk Jr. Yep.
Shawn.
I just want to finish with the actives, inactives. We have Jonathan Taylor, Ramondre Stevenson, OBJ, Jameson Williams, Justice Hill. Out, we have Barkley, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Chase Claypool, and Juwan Johnson. If anyone's looking at that, but Brother Ray actually had some really, really good hints, and I am on the A-Chain train as well.
I'm going to say, can this be the week where every time there's a tackle, I have to worry about is it going to get called with a flag? Because it's now at a point where if I see a good tackle, I immediately think they're going to flag it. It's like they don't want you to make a good tackle anymore. The Santa Claus stuff that's not even like whatever. Refs, keep your flags in your pockets. So for Captain Picard the comedian, for M1 Mastradamus, for Brother Ray, it is me, Mike Liberty King, Mike Elders, Legit Fantasy Football, brought to you by Legit Podcast.com. Tonight we have Legit Paranormal at 7:05. Please tune into LegitPodcast.com.